Yeah, I was just thinking about something that I was dealing with today, and I had a client who was expecting me to set up his Amazon Web Services server settings and WordPress install, and I try to keep up with certain services, but there's hundreds of hosting services out there, and if I spent an hour or two a day trying to keep up with whatever services or change their settings or change, we can't keep up with those things. And I had to explain to my client, like, I concentrate on design, and I don't concentrate on keeping up with all the different services, especially like Amazon Web Services. The install to me is a little beyond. I prefer my clients just to send me the credentials to log into the WordPress already installed. And in some cases, I can install WordPress like in Bluehost, which is my native. I'm not endorsing them or anything, but I use Bluehost, and I can make an install like the back of my hand on Bluehost because I've been using it for years. I know that one. But as soon as I jump into some of the other services, and they may change every 4 to 6 months with a new interface, I can't keep up with some of those things. And I try to go down the help files sometimes if I have clients that really can't keep up. But you either have to charge extra for a client if they want you to handle their install. But I do try to explain there's a difference between an IT department who's going to set up your servers or set up your emails and set up your network, and a web designer. A web designer that's going to do, in the past, it was all done in Photoshop or a web layout program, and then provide it over to coders who would then cut that apart and code it into a site. And I wouldn't do any of the coding part. And in this case, Divi allows me to design and then drop in to a WYSIWYG environment where I don't have to code, but I'm learning little bits of code as I go. And over the years, I've gotten pretty decent at some CSS and finding JavaScript, understanding how it works, and dropping that in where it needs to be. But for the most part, WYSIWYG, which stands for what you see is what you get layout, and I no longer do the Photoshop cutting and sending over to coders. But coming back to setting something up in Amazon Web Services, that's over my head, and I have to let clients know, like, I don't handle that. And so that was one thing that came across today that I did have to explain nicely in an email, that if I was to keep up with hundreds of different services out there, from Bluehost to all the different kinds, I couldn't keep up. And it wouldn't make me a good designer either, because I wouldn't be concentrating on design. I'd be a jack of all trades, and I'd be installing emails or email servers, and I'd be setting up web multi-site setups, and I would prefer to contact somebody else who really knows what they're doing, so that I don't go and screw it all up and set up something wrong and the fingers will point back at me when I'm done. But for my designs, I can back that up with good designs, and I can quickly go in and fix things and change things if I need to. But so that was another thing I came across today. And what do you think? Do you think you should be installing? Comment below what your thoughts are. Should you handle the install of the web hosting elements beyond just getting the credentials with a freshly installed WordPress? You go in, you can bring in the child theme and set up the fresh Divi install. Should we go past that or not? Here's, I might have mentioned before, I am a father of two, so I'm about to head out and pick boy one up, actually boy two, and then boy one has an extra hour in school. So we're going to head over to a cafe called the Bikery and have a little coffee, and I think he likes a poppy seed muffin or whatever. But we're going to head there, pick up the boys, and I'll be back.
Vamos a bailar.
I haven't heard back from the client yet, but what I can cover now is these are the type of things you're going to have to deal with. So I'm moving on to another part of what I need to do with my day. It's turning into nighttime now. But moving right along. So we're gonna fast forward on to today now, which is Wednesday. So left you hanging on Tuesday, but I also got left hanging. So I just got caught up on a few sporadic projects, which these kind of things are going to happen. You're going to find out that you're going to need to overlap your projects. I take in as many projects as I can and then bring in some help when I need it, because I'll get clients that will disappear for a week, maybe two, who knows what they're up to. And man, it can really throw me off, because instead of sitting around waiting, I could be working on other projects. Sometimes those projects I've turned away because I thought this project was going to take, or that project was going to take up all my time. So now I just double, triple, quadruple them up, and rarely do they ever cross paths at all at the same time. But hey, that possibility's there. But we're moving right on into Wednesday now, and that's going to be all about the now that I have heard back from the client. It's tests and logic through the Divi landing page using a plugin called Divi Logic, and then the test add-on. I will do demos on both of those things. So here's my intro for Wednesday. All right. Wednesday's episode is brought to you by, just kidding, I just discovered this today. I think it's awesome. Cubano double espresso shot. I can't even say it. Cubano double espresso shot. Boom. Alright. So, today we're going to be working with Divi Logic. And it is a plugin that allows, let me adjust my camera. It's a plugin that allows you to put parameters on what shows on a page, what sections show on a page, or what pages show based on your login credentials. And we're going to be putting together a test on a page that will, based on the answers, will either send you on to an incorrect page, or if you get it right, it sends you to a login page, which will allow you to apply for a position at this company. And the page will open up based on, once you get the answer right, a login window opens, and it allows you to create a email-based username. And once you finish that, it opens up positions that are going to pop up on the page, but you wouldn't see them until you get the answers right. So it's kind of a cool, logic, not intense, but it's got test and logic capabilities to it. And so that's what we're going to be building. Jeez. I'm going to be recording some of that, and we'll get started right here. This is Wednesday.